Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure to speak to you at this high-level meeting focusing on the findings and recommendations of the study prepared by the ICT4Peace Foundation on the UN's crisis information management capabilities. As you know, I believe that the use of information and communication technologies can bring added value to the UN's operations globally and locally. The study gives us a good basis to build an action plan to address the issue systematically and to do the necessary prioritization. I noted at our first meeting last year and reiterate that the problem is not in technology per se, but in organization, leadership and resources. As policymakers, we simply need to do a better job. Reading the interim report, I was struck by the potential of ICTs to help in crisis prevention, mitigation and response and recovery. As the UN is involved in all these aspects, allow me to underscore some key observations in the report. There needs to be a greater emphasis on more pervasive, effective and sustainable communications within and between agencies, both horizontal as well as vertical, as a standard operating procedure. Interoperability of systems and information is key to the UN's operations. There is no substitute, and the failure to strengthen interoperability will result in the loss of lives and resources. Support and reinforcement of human, financial, hardware and software resources are needed to strengthen crisis information management. Senior management need to commit and take ownership of the frameworks, processes and tools of crisis information management to ensure long-term sustainability and success. There are also a number of best practices in the report. We do not need to reinvent the wheel, but we must be bold in recognizing what is failing or bound to fail. Crisis response is only as strong as its weakest link. I therefore support the recommendations in the report that seek to build on what works or demonstrates a potential of working better than what we have today. I do not want those of us who have attended this meeting to think that this report is the end of a process. It is the first step. It is not enough to have a paper what we know needs to be done. We need to do it. Using existing tools, models and best practices identified in the interim report and your knowledge and commitment, we have an opportunity here to pilot, scale up and explore ways to strengthen the UN's crisis information management. I have spent decades negotiating violent crises. With global warming, man-made and natural disasters will sadly grow in scale and frequency. Your support and commitment to taking forward the ideas in this report will significantly help the UN to become more relevant, meaningful and effective in the future, when I believe it will be most needed in our world. I strongly support and endorse therefore the need to support the development of the recommendations in this report. I sincerely appreciate the vision and leadership of the UN Chief Information Technology Officer Assistant Secretary General Dr. Soon Hong Choi, the commitment of the ICT4Peace Foundation to promote these vital ideas, and finally, your own participation in this process. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a strong believer in the UN system and would welcome the appropriate UN agencies to stand up and take the leadership in these issues. This, to my mind, could be one important outcome of this process and a significant marker of the international community's commitment to the values and principles to save lives as embodied in the ICT4Peace process. Thank you very much.